how are you? Today I've already prepped my face with the, there it is, the Van Yulay pre-shave oil. And I'm going to be doing something a little bit different today, but, well, whole shave is going to be a little bit different. My razor is going to be this, it's the Leaf Twig razor, which used to come anyway with the Leaf razor, the one that kind of looks like a giant cartridge razor. And in there I have one of these Derby Professional half blades, which are usually used in shavettes and things like that, and other razors too, I'm sure. They already come split in half. And my cream, this is going to be a little bit different too. It doesn't require a brush. It's from England. It's Pecksniff's shaving cream right there. Ooh, there you are. And I'm going to go ahead and start just putting some of this on my face. I hope you're all doing well out there. Pops open like this, like so. And let me see if I can get it going here. Comes out as a white cream. There hardly any scent to it. Very, very mild, kind of a nondescript scent to it. Let me start putting some of this on my face. And usually I use creams and soaps that require a brush, you know. I gotta get some more of this, I guess. But this I was hoping, when I saw it on eBay, and I knew there was a company in England called Pecksniff's that made, well, they make shower soaps and things like that, liquid soaps. But I was hoping this would require a brush, but you can take my word for it, a brush does not work with this. And as far as the razor goes, the razor is meant for trimming under your nose and so forth when you're using the Leaf razor, which due to the nature of how it's built is sometimes kind of difficult to shave above your upper lip, under your nose, depending on which direction you're going. So that's what the Twig razor that I have here was really meant for. But I saw a fellow, and I had thought of this myself and ended up doing this myself. I saw a fellow, I don't know if he still does shave videos, an Australian fellow shaved happily with the Twig razor, and that's all he used in one of his videos. It was at least a couple of years ago. Let me rinse my hand off here. I did not get as good a result. Hang on. The first time I used the Twig razor, I did not get as good a results. And the gentleman from Australia, I wish I could remember his name and the name of his channel. Maybe some of you know it. But, and there's several fellows in Australia I know that have YouTube channels and are traditional shavers. But, well, I forget what I was going to say. Oh, yeah, he used a soap or cream that you take a brush to. But I'm using something else here, which is ostensibly thinner. But sometimes even these creams that you don't use a brush with will, for example, kind of clog up a cartridge razor such as this. And I thought maybe it would clog this one less if it's thick enough for that. I've used this cream before, but it's been quite a while, and I don't remember how it worked with a cartridge. So let me go ahead. I have had these kind of creams and ones you use a brush with. Excuse me, I've had them clog up cartridge or disposable razors. Whereas if you use something in a can like this, the cartridges and disposables don't clog up as much in my experience. So Which is funny because the cartridge razor I just showed you here, this one with the white handle that takes a Mach III cartridge blade, or just cartridge, it came also, for example, it came with this and with a brush, also with a white handle, and I've got some Arco in there, a shaving puck that you do use a brush with, but it would be better if that stand I have over here had come with, well, a better brush, because half the hairs fell out of the brush, and a regular safety razor. I'll shut up for a minute and I'll continue shaving. And then I'll rinse the razor here. I'll keep talking while I do it. It shouldn't take too long. Yeah, that rinse is fairly clean there. Yeah, no appreciable clogging there. I don't know if you can even see that, but I'll continue here. Got some cream in my hair here. I'll try to get rid of that. This is comfortable so far. Okay, now I'll rinse the razor and you have the little page turning transition. Although that transition might not have been necessary because this little Twig razor rinses quickly, very quickly, and doesn't gum up. So it's kind of like a permanent version of a disposable razor. Just one blade, a single edge, and yeah, it's like a permanent disposable razor. Disposable razor, excuse me. Although I like the fun little page turning transition, it's just fun. I don't know. I get kind of OCD about rinsing my blade. And also I tend to sometimes have pasty lathers. Either too pasty or too thin, especially if I'm recording a shave, it seems like. But yeah, that's pretty quick. Maybe just to cut down on the time of the video, I might go back to having transitions, but it really only takes a second to rinse this razor, a second or two, depending. Getting some audio feedback here, I guess that's good. Oh, and about the second use for this blade, we'll call it that, because I've done one complete shave with it on my own, not recorded anywhere, and then I've also a couple of times used this just to trim under my nose, perhaps, maybe even do some pickups when I was using the leaf razor. So, and I'll use another kind of blade with this sometime and report back to you if this shave ends up being not so great or just passable. But it's comfortable so far. I don't even need to break away right now, although I think I will. I'll rinse the razor, I'll come back, and then since this is so fun, I'll do the transition here for fun, and then we'll do pass number 2 across the grain. Using a Derby professional half blade. I rarely use Derby blades of any kind anymore, although I did use one of their black blades. I forget what it's called, or it comes in the black packaging anyway. Derby Premium or something like that. I used one of those maybe a week ago. I think I used it off camera, but I'm not sure. I might have also used it in a video. So, smooth and slick enough. I don't know if you could say a cream like this has much protection. Pretty mild razor, mild aggression, and a mild blade, I guess. Derby's, the double-edged ones, are kind of good starter blades. At least that's what they used to say. So, there's something else I wanted to say. You know, the name of this, Pecksniffs, I wonder if that's a real British, or, you know, surname, or if they got it from Charles Dickens. I'll explain in a second. There was a character named Pecksniff in the only Charles Dickens novel set in the United States. Let's see, where am I here? Have I done this side yet? I'm kind of forgetting where I'm at because I don't have the thick cream to look at here, or soap or whatever, just a layer of this hand applied stuff on my face. So I'm kind of lost here. Yeah, back in, I guess it was the 1820s or something, when Mark Twain was popular, Charles Dickens, I think it was his only visit to the United States, but he came and stayed with friends, or stayed with someone, maybe in a hotel for all I know, but I think he stayed with friends or somebody he had met from northeast Missouri, up by Hannibal, which was Mark Twain's hometown, you know. And, excuse me, and he wrote a novel that was at least partially set in the United States in northeast Missouri, I believe, or at least in Missouri, in that part of the country. And it was kind of a brave thing for him to do, although it hurt his popularity in the United States, because he had bad things to say about slavery, which was still going on then. Even though it stayed with the Union in the Civil War, Missouri was a slave state. And so, and one of the characters, I don't know if I can't remember if he was a villain or what he was, but there was a character named Pecksniff. And the name of the novel, by the way, that in which that character appears, the Dickens novel, is Martin Chuzzlewit. It's kind of interesting. Since I want to do this sort of thing, here's a map of Missouri, and I'll point out Hannibal and maybe put a circle around, or just point out Hannibal's right there, northeast Missouri, off of the mighty Mississippi River. As you might remember that Mark Twain, his real name was Samuel Clements, and he had at one time worked on a riverboat on the Mississippi River. Okay, well, wet my face and neck, and then I will properly, according to instructions, apply this cream so that I know that I'm doing it right, correctly. Got a wet face and I'm applying the cream. This is not coming out as closely as I had hoped. So, at least for the purposes of this shave, I might also do something I have never done in a video, and that is I might actually switch over to another razor. I might as well go ahead and finish with this cartridge razor, because I think this might actually be better for me than finishing the whole shave with that Twig razor. Not that I'm running down the Twig razor, but I think it's okay for doing some trimming. I don't think it's, at least for me, it was okay for the other fellow, the fellow from Australia, who, like I said, used it with a cream or soap that you apply with a brush, but my results the first time were not that good. I'm just rinsing off my hand here when I used to apply the cream, and I'm just kind of experimenting today. And I don't really particularly like cartridge razors. One of these cartridges used to last me a month, actually. I guess I'm pretty baby-faced, but back when I used to just shave with a can of goo. But anyway, I'll start pass 3. We'll go against the grain. I'll start on my neck. I'll see if that improves things any. Then I might do my touch-ups or pick-ups on my whole face, not just on my neck area. I'll kind of maybe do those the way I used to shave when I just did one pass with a cartridge or disposable. So, in theory anyway, I guess I could have used the cartridge to begin with. Let's see. Okay. Unfortunately, when I began shaving, I've always been a wet shaver, but when I began wet shaving as a teenager, cartridges and disposables were all the fashion. They were the way to go back then. I'm going to just get it going here. I still had some slickness on there, on my face, but okay, now I'll show you something. As soon as I rinse my hands off again here, and I'll show you essentially how I used to do a one-pass shave with a cartridge or disposable before I got into this hobby with the double edge and other single edge type razors, the more traditional safety razors. Okay, I would start on my neck, and I would go upwards on my neck. Well, it's really no big secret. I would go up on my neck and down on my face. And then maybe any touch-ups I did would be is perfunctory the right word? I'm not sure if that's the right word. They would just be very quick. I might even have a couple of miniature teeny weeny weepers, but I'm not going to worry about that. Okay, then I'd rinse my razor, and then up here on the face I would just go down, kind of what you'd call whip the grain. Maybe not this quick of a one pass, but I'm just kind of going over some areas again. And just for good measure, I'm going to go with the grain or downwards on my neck one more time, then I think I'm going to call it done. And this is not going to be, this is not going to be a BBS shave by any means, but it's passable and it'll be okay for tomorrow, or today, I mean. It's very early in the morning here. The sun should just be coming up right about now, or shortly, so it still feels like it's the middle of the night. Witching hour for us insomniacs, I guess. or actually the hour that us vampires climb back in our coffin. Now, one thing I am going to break away from for here is I'm going to rinse my face. There's no, well, see, I already rinsed the razor. I just need no brush to rinse, just my face. I'll do that off camera, and I'll come back with our good friend, Mr. Towel. Hi there. Here's our good friend, Mr. Towel. Oh. Ah. You know, I still hear feedback on there. You hear that? Okay. Beforehand, before I got on camera, I did prep my face with the Van Yulay shaving oil. Pre-shave oil, actually, it says on there. And I tried 2 different razors. The first couple of passes I did with this, the Twig razor from the makers of Leaf Razor, which goes with the Leaf Razor for trimming under your nose and other touch-ups, maybe by your ears and hairline and so forth. Then I finished on the 3rd pass and through most of touch-ups with this, it's a Kingsley cartridge razor that came with this. I didn't show you this before. I've shown you this in another video. It came with all this right here, but it fits a Gillette Mach III cartridge, and this cartridge, like the blade in the Twig razor, was on its 2nd use. And incidentally, another thing to recap here, in the Twig razor, on its 2nd full use anyway, was one of these Derby Professional half blades. Okay, let me put this cartridge razor back on the stand over here. And, oh, yeah, I almost forgot. My cream, once again, Pecksniff's. It's non-lathering, doesn't use a brush. Pecksniff's Professional, so it says. Oh, I didn't see this before. The scent is supposed to be lemon, cedar, and amber. It's a very, very light scent. I guess you could smell those things in there. To me, it smelled a little bit like generic shaving cream, but not terrible. But it's from England. That doesn't make it terrible either. That's usually a very good thing. But Pecksniff's. And now I'm running terribly over here, so I'm going to cut a lot of things out of this video. I'm going to apply some of these Zirh Erase Aftershave Relief Tonic. Yeah, I'm running over on this video, so I'm going to cut a lot of things out when I get ready to edit and upload the video. This stuff has a medicinal smell to it. Not a bad smell, but kind of a medicinal smell or scent. I guess you'd call it a smell if it's medicinal. That's Zirh, I believe I'm pronouncing that right, Erase Aftershave Relief Tonic. Finally, I'm going to finish with something else kind of new to the channel, the Tabac Craftsman Eau de Toilette. I'll shake that up a little bit. And well, I'll start out, it's a spray bottle, so it's like a cologne. It's got a long-lasting and very pleasant scent, and different than the regular tobacco, although I suppose there is some tobacco smell or scent involved in this, perhaps. All I know is it's a really great, long-lasting scent, and I like it a lot. So there you go. Oops, there it is, Tabac Craftsman. I wish I had some of the other things that were in this line, the soap or cream, and whatever else, but this is about all I could find online here in the States. Anyway, that's it. I got a lot of editing to do, and I'm tired. I might take a nap. I'm not sure. This should be uploaded either really early or very late on Monday or early on Tuesday. Usually these things, my channel I upload usually very late Monday night or very early Tuesday morning, depending on where you're at. Thank you, and thank you, everyone. Peace.